The ground beneath your feet is shaking. You hear your dunes shattering. Where will you be when the big one hits?
It's April 17, 2014, and earthquake drills are being run throughout the state of Utah as part of the Great Utah Shakeout. Here in Cottonwood Heights, the Amateur Radio Club has teamed up with city volunteers and officials to run the drill. We spent weeks preparing for it, getting radio equipment up to speed and training our operators. The setting of this drill is that an earthquake has hit the entire city, and rescue teams have got to know where the most urgent needs are. At the heart of our emergency plan is the Geographical Information System, or GIS. Kevin Sato is the city's GIS specialist.
And GIS is an acronym, stands for Geographic Information Systems. Basically all that is, it's taking data in a database form and tying it to another database that's in a locational or spatial form. If we had an earthquake event, then I can start mapping each home's status in the city, and then we can visually see where we have problems. You can also use the GIS to analyze the data to quickly show you where you really need to go. For emergency preparedness within Cottonwood Heights, we have divided the city into 7 major areas called districts, and those districts are further subdivided into what we call precincts, and then each precinct is subdivided into blocks. Each block encompassing between 7 and 14 homes. When we have an event like an earthquake, what happens is each home has a set of these 4 ribbons that I'm going to show you, and they hang the appropriate ribbon that suits the condition of their household. So if everything is okay, they hang this green ribbon out in front of their house, and the block captain then canvasses the area and records the color of the ribbon hanging there. So green means we're okay, we're kind of shaken, but we're okay. Yellow means that we've had some minor injuries, nothing like life-threatening, but we do have injuries, but we're okay. So you don't have to bother with us right now. There's more pressing needs in the area. Okay, the important ones, red. If you have a life-threatening injury in your home, you would hang a red ribbon. And so that report would come to the GIS and would be shown on the map, and then we would know where we need to send our resources immediately. That's the red ribbon. Now, in the worst case, if you had a fatality in your home, you would hang a black ribbon.
Here's how the flow of information travels in this emergency. The data goes from home to block to precinct, and then to district, to EOC2, and finally to EOC1 at City Hall. EOC means Emergency Operations Center. When disaster strikes, one of the first emergency vehicles to deploy is the EOC2. While this mobile command center van is moving into position and radio personnel are setting up their equipment, volunteers in each neighborhood are gathering information. At the ground floor are the block captains. Their responsibility is to check the ribbon status of nearby homes. Once a block captain has this info, they'll pass it on, either directly in person or by radio to their precinct communications specialist. In my neighborhood, I serve in this capacity. We use walkie-talkies to collect data.
041.
When the precinct data is ready, it's passed to the next level, the district. A district communications specialist must be a licensed amateur radio operator. Some of these specialists have a permanent radio installation in their home, while others have portable equipment, which can be moved to where it will be most useful. They use a great free software package called DRATS, written by Dan Smith. This software manages the transfer of digital data on amateur radio frequencies. For those of you who are familiar with these things, we use both packet radio and ICOM's D-Star data link technology. While all of this information is being passed up the chain, EOC2 has been in voice communication with each of the districts and with EOC1 at City Hall. The parking lot of Brighton High School is the perfect location for the van. It's on top of a hill and gives excellent line of sight communications to all participants. Inside the van, one operator manages voice traffic with the districts and with EOC1. A second operator handles the actual data transfer. When the voice operator determines that an individual precinct's data is ready, he indicates it in green on the projection screen. The data operator then uploads the file, making it instantly available to EOC1 through a high-speed D-Star data link. The mayor takes a strong interest in emergency preparedness, and this event allows him the opportunity to discuss this topic with families in Cottonwood Heights. Paul Brenneman coordinates all emergency communication activities for the city. He is the Assistant Chief of Police and works closely with Cottonwood Heights Amateur Radio Club. Paul also works with Sheila Jennings, who handles administrative tasks for the city volunteers. EOC1 is located at City Hall, and for this drill it's being managed by a team consisting of Kevin Sato and several amateur radio operators. This is the final destination for all the data gathered by the participants. Radio operators receive the data and it's passed to Kevin for entry into the GIS software. This allows him and others to visually observe the status of all homes in the city. During the real thing, Incident Command would be located here, meaning this is where police, fire, and city officials would gather to evaluate the data and decide how to most effectively allocate resources and rescue teams.
The information you see projected on the screen represents actual data collected during the Big Shakeout Drill 2014. The information represents the status of actual residents or residences in Cottonwood Heights. The information, should we have a real event, would be used to coordinate responses to the area, to deploy emergency resources, but more importantly would help us determine what areas don't need emergency resources. Should we have a real event in the city, this data would be critical to providing service to the citizens of Cottonwood Heights.
The drill was an outstanding success. Many people, including block captains, radio operators, city employees, and elected officials cooperated to carry it out. The City of Cottonwood Heights will continue working to be prepared for such emergencies. While much of the City of Cottonwood Heights was covered during this exercise, in order to get complete coverage of the city, we still need additional block captains and ham radio operators. If you're interested in becoming a block captain, please contact Debbie McIntosh at www.chgetready@gmail.com. If you are a ham radio operator or would like to become one, please contact the Cottonwood Heights Amateur Radio Club by sending us an email at ch.amateurradioclub@gmail.com.